Very good Saturday evening. Welcome. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News. We're coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo this evening. And I'm Joel Outscoon. Let's start off tonight with the headlines.
Who are the MPs that obtained money from Perpetual? Lawyers comment on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. Malik Samaravikrama says national trade policy exists, though Dr. Rajitha Senaratne earlier said it does not. Reason for the unpleasant odour in the drinking water distributed to Gampaha revealed. More revelations on corruption surrounding cricket.
Well, at the outset of this evening's bulletin, I would like to pose a question to all of you. That is, who are the MPs that obtain money from perpetual treasuries? Well, we'll have all the details and the answers of this. But first, we'll move on to a story that we at Newsfirst have been consistently following. Now, over the recent weeks, Newsfirst made attempts to contact the Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade and officials at the Ministry for clarification over issues surrounding the Sri Lanka-Singapore Free Trade Agreement. All our attempts to contact them were unsuccessful. However, today, Minister Malik Samaravikrama issued a media release to clarify matters surrounding the Free Trade Agreement.
The media release from the minister goes on to state the Sri Lanka-Singapore Free Trade Agreement was prepared based on the national trade policy approved by Cabinet in August 2017. However, in a letter to Cabinet on the 8th of January 2018, the President stresses the FTA must be based on the national trade policy approved in July 2017. Moreover, Cabinet spokesperson Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said Sri Lanka does not have a national trade policy.
Does the government have a parliament-approved national trade policy?
There is no such policy. There are many other national policies that need to be prepared. If this is so, where is the Cabinet-approved national trade policy as mentioned by Minister Malik Samaravikrama? Is the Cabinet spokesperson not aware of the national trade policy? The media release goes on to state the agreement was prepared taking into account the observations made by 14 ministers regarding the free trade agreement. Therefore, what happened to the observations made by Chandima Veerakkodi?
In my observation to Cabinet over this matter, I have expressed my objection in writing to entering into this agreement that poses harm to the local industries and the present system of the country.
Minister Malik Samaravikrama in his statement rejects the allegations made by certain politicians and a group that claims to be professionals based on wrong information.
As the National Alliance of Professionals together with the business community requested from the government to establish a national trade policy before they arbitrarily enter into these agreements and therefore call for discussions. To us professionals, it is clear that Minister Malik Samaravikrama is carrying out this process using corrupt officials.
Singapore Sri Lanka වෙළඳ කිවිසුම මගින්
It is clear the Sri Lanka-Singapore Free Trade Agreement makes provision for many harmful products to enter the country. We kindly request Minister Malik Samaravikrama to not waste by issuing media releases and moving away from the issue. We are aware that there are 12 government officials who you consulted for this. Please come for an open debate along with them. If you do not, it will be clear that certain people are not directly involved in this fraudulent agreement. We request you not to move away from this. Since 2013, we have been calling for a legal framework on international agreements.
අන්තර්ජාතික වෙළඳාම සම්බන්ධයෙන් සිබිතු නීති රාමු ඉල්ලා සිටින වෘත්තීය බවද අපි ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
A special discussion took place at the ETI premises this morning over the repayment of its depositors.
More than 1,000 depositors who invested their money at ETI were present for this discussion. This meeting was called to discuss the issue you face. We have new investors and the second one is called Sivajoti. People say the assets of this institution are lost. It is true. People ask why we have come here. There is a more valuable asset of this institution and that is the investors. There are 22,000 depositors. That is why we are here. I reached a bond for 5 years and it expired in January. It has been renewed automatically without my consent. They used my signature for this. There are many here who face this situation. These are the issues. What is this? We do not like this. I invested with my daughter. She invested her earnings of 5 years. This is the money we hope to use for her marriage. We deposited for a period of 3 months and now she cannot get married. They say we have to wait for another 5 years.
මහා ලොකු ගාණක් නෙමෙයි 1,30,000යි මම දාලා තිබුණේ. ඔපරේෂන් එක තිබුණේ මැයි 6 වෙනිදා. මැයි 6 වෙනිදා මට ඔපරේෂන් එක තියෙනවායි කියලා මම මැයි මාසේ මුල ඇවිල්ලා කතා කරුවම අපි එන දවසට මේගොල්ලන් මොනවද කිව්වේ දෙන්න විදිහක් නැහැ. මේ කෝටි ගණන් දැන් වංච කරලා තියෙන උමුන්ට ගන්න කවුරුත් නැහැ. මුන්ට ගන්න කවුරුත් නැහැ දැන්. මුන් ඕඳ තියාගෙන තින්නේ. දැන් අපි රුපියල් 50 කරගම් කරන්න නම් එහෙම පාරේ ගිහිල්ලා හොරකමට දාලා. හොරකමට දාලා ඒක. හොරකමට දාලා අල්ලන් ගහලා දැන් මුන්ට ගහන්න කවුරුත් නැහැ.
දැන් මෙහෙමයි දැන් අපි ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහ බැංකුවේ
We are awaiting the instructions of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The Central Bank must focus on where the investment is coming from and what previous investments the person has made and in what sort of companies. The Central Bank must look into this. We hope the Central Bank will call us for discussions.
තියෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහ බැංකුව ඒ සම්බන්ධව අපිත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරයි කියලා.
The National Alliance for Lawyers Associations convened a media briefing today.
Several years ago, the JVP was the most influential factor that did not allow the presidents and governments in this country to act according to their whims and fancies. Sadly, during the government of Ranil Wickremesinghe, the JVP has become a tamed elephant. The JVP made a struggle to call for the Prime Minister's resignation over the bond scam. They did no such thing before. Today, the JVP has become Ranil Wickremesinghe's pet dogs. When there are issues over Ranil Wickremesinghe's leadership and post of Prime Minister, the JVP brings forward a proposal for the abolishment of the executive presidency. It should be a decision made by a party that has the people's mandate. We are being told 118 MPs obtained money from Arjun Aloysius. Today, the majority was obtained based on the massive amounts of money that was given. If a president is elected based on the votes of the MPs, Aloysius will have the capability of having the person he wants be elected as the president. This amendment paves the way for that.
Arjun Aloysius තෝරගෙන ජනාධිපති කරගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා මේ සංශෝධනය මේ රටේ ස්ථාපිත වුණොත්.
In more news this evening, now the International Monetary Fund has approved the disbursement of a $252 million tranche under its program and asked for continued reforms to boost growth as the country recovers from a balance of repayment crisis.
The IMF said Sri Lanka was making gains in improving state finances and monetary policy, and structural reforms would boost growth. IMF Deputy Managing Director Mitsuhiro Furusawa said in a statement, quote, "Sustaining the reform momentum is critical to strengthen the country's resilience to shocks, given the still sizable public debt and low external buffers, and to set the foundation for strong and inclusive growth," unquote. The statement adds further progress with revenue-based fiscal consolidation, supported by the new Inland Revenue Act, is needed to help safeguard important social and infrastructure spending, including in response to natural disasters. IMF's board has completed the fourth review under a $1.5 billion extended fund facility arrangement. With the latest tranche, $1,014 million had been disbursed. According to the IMF, robust fiscal rule and better management of debt will also help the country.
Well, you're tuned on to the weekend edition of Primetime News. On to a very important story. Now, it has come to light the Grand Hyatt Hotel project in Colombo, which allegedly involved financial frauds amounting to billions of public funds during the Mahinda Rajapaksa administration, is facing another issue following an order delivered against it at an arbitration tribunal in Singapore.
Italian contractor Interna Contract Spa, who was awarded the interior package 2 of the Grand Hyatt project by the previous management, filed an arbitration in Singapore against Sino Lanka Hotels and Spa, which is a subsidiary of Canville Holdings Private Limited, for unlawfully terminating the contract they had entered into on the 7th of January 2015, the day before the change of government. The formal award was delivered by the Arbitration Tribunal on the 6th of October 2017 against Sino Lanka Hotels and Spa. The order was to pay a staggering €7.4 million to Interna for the unlawful termination of the contract. Sino Lanka filed an appeal in November 2017 against the arbitration award at High Court of Singapore. Meanwhile, Interna filed an application at the Colombo High Court requesting to enforce an arbitral award in their favour. Although the tender and contract documents show that the place of arbitration shall be in Colombo, the reason for the contractor to file arbitration in Singapore was based on the letter of acceptance issued on the 22nd of December 2014. According to Clause 9 of the letter of acceptance, all disputes arising out or in connection with the contract shall be finally settled under the rules of arbitration of the International Chamber of Commerce by one or more arbitrators appointed in accordance with the said rules, and the arbitration venue shall be in Singapore and arbitration proceedings shall be in English. It's learned how the former board of directors of Sino Lanka Hotels and Spa, Gamini Senarath, Piyadasa Kuda Balage and several others selected prospective contractors based on the evaluations carried out by the quantity supervisors without following government procurement guidelines. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's Chief of Staff, Gamini Senarath, and two others were remanded last year by the Colombo Fort Magistrate for allegedly misusing public funds by illegally investing ₹4 billion from the $18.5 billion approved by the Cabinet for the Grand Hyatt project. The funds in question had been the allocation for the Kolpiti Grand Hyatt Regency Hotel to be constructed by Canville Holdings Limited, a company affiliated to the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation, but had been invested in the Hambantota Hyatt Regency Hotel project. For reasons unknown, the hotel, which could have been completed for ₹18.5 billion, was done nearly doubling in cost.
Well, in sports, it is on a serious note this evening. Well, it is an expose concerning cricket in the country. Now, following the Sports First revelation over the allegations raised on pitch fixing at the Galle International Cricket Stadium, more details on the matter have surfaced. Take a look.
Taranga Indika, who is accused of changing the nature of the pitch at the Galle International Cricket Stadium, had previously served as a gym assistant at the gym located in the premises of the cricket stadium from 2000 to 2015. However, Godfrey Dabure, a competent authority at Sri Lanka Cricket, had issued an internal memo appointing Taranga Indika as assistant manager of the Galle International Cricket Stadium. The decision taken by SLC to appoint a gym assistant as assistant manager of the Galle Cricket Stadium became a serious issue, as this individual did not have any form of experience regarding a cricket pitch. Then Secretary of the Galle Cricket Club, the late Halamage Premasuri, had voiced an objection to this appointment. However, he did not receive a positive response to that. 6 days after the controversial test match at the Galle International Cricket Stadium, Halamage Premasuri was assassinated for unknown reasons. On the 1st of March 2016, Sri Lanka Cricket informs the District Cricket Associations of the Southern Province, SLC's Godfrey Dabure and several officials will be taking over the premises. The memo notes, Galle Stadium Coordinator Mahesh Sanjeeva, Accounts Clerk Rifana Nizam and Computer Operator Disna Sanjeevani have been transferred to another cricket stadium. The memo notes, on the 3rd of March 2016, a complaint was made to the Galle Police opposing this process. The late Halamage Premasuri and Galle Cricket Stadium personnel had taken measures to forward a complaint to the Galle Police against the process and the pressure that was exerted. Another issue is that the controversial second test between Sri Lanka and Australia began the very day the appointments were made. According to the information provided to us, police officers had visited the Galle International Cricket Stadium to conduct an inquiry over the complaint made, and we were also given photographs to prove the visit made by police. If the appointments were legal, these people should have been called for an interview, and thereafter the appointments should have been presented in a proper manner. However, such a process had not been adopted in this matter, and what is a more serious issue is that the appointment came into effect the very day the second test between Sri Lanka and Australia began, and was also highlighted by Al Jazeera as an encounter where pitch fixing had taken place. In March 2016, an allegation is made against Godfrey Dabure, who is currently the manager of the international venues and facilities at Sri Lanka Cricket, Harsha Munasinghe and Taranga Indika, over the theft of steel at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. Another serious issue is no action has been taken against Taranga Indika or the other two people with regard to the sale of steel and scrap metal at the Galle International Cricket Stadium without following a proper tender procedure.
Well, now Sports First will definitely bring you more revelations on this matter as and when we are able to uncover this. Well, if you missed out on any stories, don't worry, you could find it on our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Still in more local news here at home, now the foundation stone for the 745th model village constructed under the Samata Sevana Yalipipidemu Gammanu program was placed today under the auspices of the Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
The village named the Siri Penanabagama is being constructed in the Kandekati area in Agonokola Palasa Hambantota. The village will comprise 28 houses. We placed the foundation stone for the 745th model village in the country, and we need to be proud of that. As the minister and the ministry, we have a name and we have produced it to the nation. That is to create 2,500 Udagammana concept villages by the 31st of December 2019. We will launch a program to create a livelihood for all the families living in these villages.
A tea factory located in an estate in Wabotua Weval Kandure in Nivitigala was completely destroyed in a fire. The cause for the fire is yet to be ascertained.
The fire broke out in the two-story tea factory last evening. Our correspondent said the Ratnapura Urban Council Fire Brigade, together with the locals and police, attempted to douse the fire, but their attempts were unsuccessful. Police are probing the cause for the fire. Police added no casualties were reported. A cloud of smoke was experienced in the area this morning.
Now, locals allege the purified water distributed from the Pattivilla water treatment plant in Biagama gives a very unpleasant odor. Today, News First looked into the cause of this odor.
The Pattivilla water treatment plant provides water to many areas in the Gampaha district. Around 1 million people fulfill their daily water requirement from the water released from this water treatment plant.
This is the private canal and the water appears to be mixed with fuel. This is the water that is pumped and distributed to the whole of the Gampaha district.
News First inquired into the site from where oil is being mixed into the canal. The water that flows down the rear border of the Sapagaskanda oil refinery flows down the canal and mixes with the Pattivilla canal. Thereafter, the water flows down and mixes with the water that is being used by the water treatment plant.
For the past 3 days, the water releases a very unpleasant smell. This is the situation all over this area. Even children have fallen ill. The main issue we face with the water is the odor. The water is contaminated since yesterday. It smells like water from a marshy land. The issue has been solved. Though there is an odor, it has not affected the quality of the water. Our quality level is SLS 614. There is no issue.
The Deputy General Manager also commented on the measures taken to solve the issue.
The situation is the same. Even if you boil the water, it is the same. We have taken several measures to address this issue. We have deployed several pipes in the canals. As an immediate situation, we have closed down the canal in question with the assistance of the Navy. We pump the water out of the site.
On Crime Watch this evening, now 2 women were murdered with a sharp weapon in the Varalamandi area in Koskama.
Police said a 34-year-old mother of a 15-day-old infant and a 78-year-old woman were brutally killed. Police said both the victims are related and they were killed inside their houses. Police said both the victims are related and they were killed inside the house. Investigations have revealed the murders were the result of a monetary dispute and the suspect is a relative of one of the victims. Police said the suspect had fled the area and operations are underway to arrest him.
Now, the Inspector General of Police has handed over the investigations regarding the assassination of the Dehiwala Mount Lavinia urban councillor Ranjan Silva to the Criminal Investigations Department.
Police media spokesperson SP Ruan Gunasekara said several other special units, including the Mirihana Special Criminal Units, will assist the investigation procedure. Councillor Ranjan Silva was shot dead on the 24th in Ratmalana.
Well, do you remember at the outset of the bulletin, I asked you this question. That is, who are the MPs that obtained money from Perpetual Treasuries Limited on their associated companies? Well, those who claim to have the information are yet to disclose these details before the public. Therefore, Newsfirst decided to pose the question to the MPs themselves.
It was MP Dayasiri Jayasekara who first accepted that he received money from a company of the Perpetual Group and went on to say more MPs had obtained money from that enterprise. Later, Minister Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca accepted he obtained 100,000 rupees from the Perpetual Group. Arjuna Ranatunga, Gamini Jayavikrama Pereira, Patali Champika Ranavaka, Ranjan Ramanayaka, Ranjit Madhyama Bandara, Iran Vikramaratna, Mano Ganeshan, Vijit Vijayamuni Zoisa, and Akila Viraj Karyavasam, all ministers and deputy ministers as well as parliamentarian Ranjit D'Souza have publicly said they did not receive money from the Perpetual Group. Here are more responses to the question, did you receive money from the Perpetual Group?
I do not know if Arjun Mahendran is black or white. The names will be revealed when the speaker releases them. I did not associate Aloysius. He did not offer money to me. I have a good memory. I remember all the businessmen in the Bingiri electorate who offered 5,000 rupees. If one offers 2 or 3 million, I doubt any MP would forget that person. If he had forgotten, then he is suffering from a serious illness. I am not involved. I did not have any dealings with that person. I have not seen him to date.
I did not receive a red cent. I have not taken money from people to engage in politics. I do not know these people.
These businessmen are always on the lookout for the new finance minister and defense minister. After a government is elected, they want to know who will be the environment minister. They then make the financial offers. We are not in the list. People only offer us things that ruin us.
I have not accepted money from anyone. I have not spoken to anyone. I don't associate businessmen, and that is why we are being sidelined by the top.
I have no calls or any connection. I have not obtained anything. I did not obtain money. I did not have any communication and have never met him. I will present an affidavit on Monday. I hope the other MPs will do the same. When I was coming here, a journalist asked, how much did you receive from Perpetual Treasuries? My hands are clean. When we come to the 2020 election, if there are those who obtain money, they can be sent packing so they don't come back to Parliament. It is the responsibility of the people to ensure they don't get a Pradesh Sabha position as well. I have not received money from anyone. It must be made clear. It is the responsibility of the Speaker to ensure the innocence of the MPs.
MPs Dinesh Gunawardena and Harshana Raj Karuna did not provide a clear answer to this question.
The issue is not whether money was taken or not. If a wrong has been done, we do not approve it. The issue is not whether my name is there or not. The Speaker must produce the report, then we will know the truth.
Well, activists have called all those who had taken money from various questionable sources to make voluntary disclosures.
Recently, MP Dayasiri Jayasekara said there are 118 people who had obtained money from Arjuna Aloysius, Kasun Palisena, Perpetual Treasuries Limited, and from those who are accused of the central bank bond scam. The people have the right to know of all MPs, other politicians, a member from the clergy, a non-governmental organization or state officer who received money from Arjuna Aloysius, Kasun Palisena, Perpetual Treasuries Limited, and the Perpetual Group during and after the period of the bond scam.
Activists say the culpability of those who obtained money will be mitigated by the people at large if they make public disclosures prior to the investigations, revealing that information to court. The CID has taken over material for investigations following the search of the Perpetual Treasuries Limited premises in Colombo 2.
The search took place in accordance to the search warrant given by the Fort Magistrate yesterday. Sources close to the investigation said the search centered around certain area of material required for the ongoing investigations. Accordingly, computer hard disks, laptops, flash drivers, mobile phones and an entire bulk of physical documents have been taken over by detectives for their investigations.
Well, with that, we bring to close this edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for stopping by. Well, if you missed out on any stories, simply log on to our award-winning website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. And Joel Outschool, have yourself a great evening. Take care, good night, and God bless you.